just say your name for us.
Kris D'Agostino.
Okay, we're good. Yes.
I specialize in performance automobiles, mostly European cars, predominantly Porsche. I also do a lot of performance mods to American cars, predominantly Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros. In Gastonia, I've been here for about 4 months, but the company's been in business since January 1st of 2017. I had a lot of fun in Florida with the race cars, especially when Palm Beach International Raceway was open. I used to go do a lot of racing. I had a lot of friends come by the shop with their race cars. It was a really good time. I mean, I started working on and restoring and tinkering with. I've been doing that probably since I was 12 years old. I used to restore old dirt bikes, and they were just the biggest piles of junk, and I spent more time restoring them than they were worth. Like, you could throw them in the garbage and you would have saved money. But I would sit there in Mom's shed or her garage, scrubbing things with gasoline and, cleaning this and looking through catalogs to find cork seals that don't exist anymore. It was funny. I laughed because, yes, it was a waste of time, but I also learned so much in doing it that's been, from 12 years old to 40 years old, that was, a partial genesis of where this all started. Here at Tech9, I'm the only employee. Customer finds me, they come in, I confer with them about what has to be done, and then I write them an estimate. They bring the car in, I pull the motor, and the first step is disassembly, which is that bench back there. I catalog, I mic everything out to see what's good and what's not good. Next step is cleaning, which is the cold tank and my VHT 800. Get everything cleaned up, order all the gaskets and parts, send out all the machine work. Machine work comes back, parts come in, reassemble it, put it together, and stick it in the car and go. It might sound a lot easier the way I said it. This process is usually a few months or so. Over the years, I have not had a very easy way of cleaning things, and that's where this machine comes into place, VHT. It makes it a lot easier. In the Porsche crowd, there's a number of heavy hitters. One thing I started noticing is on Instagram, the land of everything being pretty, I noticed that Olsen, Orbit, their stuff looked like it came out of a jewelry box. And mine, it was clean, but it didn't look brand new. And when you're charging the prices that get charged to do a air-cooled 911 rebuild, things have to look as beautiful as they run. So that's when I started looking into vapor blasting. And I came across VHT, and they made a hell of a product. So that's why I bought it. I went with a VHT 800 base. And I think that it was a great balance for cost and effectiveness. It does everything I needed to do, and then some, actually. That doesn't limit me only to automotive. As with any versatile tool, I find other uses for it on a daily basis. To clean a set of parts for any air-cooled motor, if you're sitting there with a tub of gasoline and a wire brush, you could spend a day cleaning that stuff to make it look halfway decent. This right here cuts it down a lot in time, and it also makes it look a lot better than you're sitting there with a toothbrush, a wire brush, and black gasoline in a bucket. Eventually, over a long enough timeline, if you calculate how many cases of brake clean you use while you're sitting there scrubbing them, the machine probably pays for itself over like a 5-year period. The most interesting part that I used it for, it wasn't actually automotive. This year, I found an old espresso machine at my mother's house, and Father's Day was coming up, and I wanted to restore this machine and give it to my father. It used to be his. So the machine is 30 some odd years old, and these stainless steel components, they had leaked a little bit because the seals dry up, and there's a lot of calcium deposits and scale. So traditionally, I would have sat there with the wire brush again, and it probably would have taken me 2 days to make this look as nice as it did. It took me a solid 5 or 6 minutes to make it look nice. and I was able to get back to doing whatever I had to do to make it work correctly. Honestly, it's been everything I've needed so far. This takes care of everything I've needed it to, and I mean, I haven't even pushed this thing hard yet. So it's been a great machine. This was the first piece I blasted. So I had just moved here. I got my vapor blasting machine before I even had my air compressor. And as soon as the electricians left from hooking up the power to my air compressor, the first thing I did was immediately run to this machine. I grabbed the first thing that I wanted to see what it would do. And this was a 50-year-old 75 or 76 911 2.7 piston. And it came out of an engine that had water in it. So it was covered in carbon and rusted water and mud. It looks like I'd probably put it back in a Porsche box and sell it over the counter. And that was very impressive to me. I'm gonna be doing a lot more LS stuff, which is Corvettes and Camaros and some trucks. But this machine actually gives me another advantage. I mean, there's one thing, you know, if I'm doing a cam install on a C6 Corvette, it's one thing to lift the heads, do your lifters, put a cam in and put it back together and have the car lump and have the customer have a big grin on their face. But the LS-based engines have aluminum valve covers, they got aluminum accessory brackets, all of which have to come off to do the job, and timing covers. It's one thing to hand the person back a clean motor, but when they come back and they see what looks like a brand new AC Delco valve cover, a brand new AC Delco timing cover, it puts a much bigger smile on their face. One thing I've learned with this machine, just like with any big and expensive tool you buy, it's not just the intended purpose that you use it for. You can find all sorts of things to use it for. I mean, I have some tools that are probably older than I am that were rusted, and I put them through there and it looks like they were brand new again. And I mean, hell, even kitchen utensils that are, you know, that are old, maybe they're family heirlooms, you could blast those and they'll look brand new again. What's special about it is you end up finding other uses for it than what you intended it for in the beginning. I would like to expand a little bit, but basically I would like to hone in on mostly performance. I've slipped over the years and I've been taking a lot of stuff that I don't like to work on, and it's great because you see the dollar signs, but what it does is it runs the gas tank for your passion dry, because you deal with a lot of things that you don't deal with on luxury or performance cars. You know, you say a Friday night you get an old car, 200,000 mile whatever, which I prefer not to work on, but you know, here you are, customer needs their car, it's a Friday night, and just because your elbow brushed a coolant hose, it has to snap because everything needs to be replaced, not just the hose, you know, or whatever part you were replacing before. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to get away from, and I would like to get into much more specialty stuff, more air-cooled Porsche stuff, more Corvettes and things like that. I really want to work on things that people care about. And that's where stuff like this comes in. People, when they see what looked brown and gray before look brand new after you just put a bunch of performance mods in their car, it has to look nice. It can't look like garbage. And with that, it makes it look brand new.